Hey guys, I've got a bit of a different video for you guys this week. I've compiled a few of the clips that I do on the weekend, and I figured this would be a good visual to show you guys whilst I go through some of my best money saving tips. The first one would be free recreational activities. So, whether that's going to the park, the beach, or going to visit free art galleries or museums, I love doing these activities because one, it gets me out and about and moving. It helps me achieve my steps. So, generally, you're supposed to do 10,000 steps a day. I don't get that in during the week. So on the weekends, I try to get in about 20,000 steps just to make up for it. So things like the beach and the park, I love because it gets me doing a bit of exercise. Even if I'm going to the museum or art gallery, I often get a lot of steps in as well because I'm walking around. I am based in the CBD, so there's a lot of activities for me to do around the city where I don't need to actually take the light rail or train. I can just walk around, which helps me get my steps in. On this particular day, I actually got free Krispy Kreme donuts, but another money saving activity is going on a picnic. You can buy food at Coles and Woolies, pre-packed sandwiches, bring fruits and snacks, and that's a fun activity for yourself, for your family, for your kids, just to be out in nature and having a bit of social time with your family and friends. My second money saving tip is looking for the banks with the best interest rate for my savings account. So often I tend to move my savings account around to the bank that offers the highest rate, but I also make sure to check that there are no monthly or servicing fees because I don't want a savings account that's going to cost me money to have. I do have an offset account on my home loan, so I also put my money into the offset account just to help offset my home loan. Now, if you want a video dedicated just on me explaining the home loan and the offset account, just let me know in the comments and I'll go through that in a little bit more detail. My third money saving tip is stockpiling. Now, I actually have a whole cupboard full of jarred and canned and shelf stable foods that I tend to stock up on when the items are half price. That way, even if I don't need the items this week or next week, I have it in my stockpile. That way, when I do need it, I don't need to go out to the shops and pay full price for that item. So I tend to stockpile condensed soups, canned Campbell stews, curry paste, tomato jarred sauces. Now, the tomato jarred sauces are obviously not a long-term shelf stable item. When I say long-term, I mean more than 1 year because things like tomato are quite acidic, so they don't store too well in cans over a long period of time. But for me, I have a rotating stockpile, so I move products in and out every 6 months or so. Another tip that kind of mixes in with that one is I generally shop the specials. So whatever fruit and vegetables are on sale that particular week is what I will buy, and I'll cater my meals according to that. I also wanted to mention I don't actually buy meat weekly or fortnightly. I normally buy that in one big bulk shop, and then I'll get my fruits and veggies on a weekly basis. More so like a top up shop in addition to my big bulk shop. I just find it's cheaper for me that way, and it helps me manage my stockpile and pepper pantry that way. And my next tip is to sign up with the Cobbles Flybuy and Woolworths reward point system and take advantage of it. So, for example, Coles, I tend to stock up on items when I get the spend $50 each week, 4 weeks in a row, and get 10,000 bonus points because that's essentially me spending $200 and getting $50 back. So, I like to take advantage of those deals when I have them from Coles and Woolies. Another money saving tip is traveling off peak. So, not traveling during Christmas or Easter. Try to avoid school holidays, even if possible. This video was taken quite a while ago where I just booked a place near Manly, near the beach. So, it was like a weekend trip away, not far from home. But we booked this off peak and I think it was a little bit cheaper. You can even look for free seminars and events that are happening in your local area. I sometimes search free activities to do in Sydney or free expos, and there's often a lot of activities that are free to do. Or you can even volunteer at an animal shelter. That way, you get to play with animals and help out at the same time. If you have any money saving tips, make sure to let us know down in the comments. I would love to hear about it, and I'm sure my viewers would too. Now, this next tip is so obvious, but I'm going to share it anyways because it's very crucial. Meal prepping helps me save so much money because one, it's way more costly to buy takeout breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And two, it's a lot healthier if I'm cooking my own meals at home. I also meal prep for my partner as well because I spend half the week at my place and half the week at his. And I tend to cook everything in bulk for him during the week because he's not very good in the kitchen. And I prefer him eating healthier homemade food than buying takeout because one, it's more cost effective, and two, it's just healthier. Also, I tend to bulk buy my meats every couple of months. Sometimes I'll still duck out to the shops and buy the meat specials on a fortnightly basis. It really depends. My partner prefers to buy his meat weekly or fortnightly only because his freezer is a little bit smaller than mine. So, whatever works for you. Meal prepping, generally, I do all of that on a Sunday, so it saves me time from cooking throughout the week. And that way, I only have to clean the kitchen really once a week. Yes, you'll have to wash up your dishes after you eat, but you don't have to clean the whole kitchen and wash all of the pots and pans every single day. I prefer to just do it all on one day. It saves me time, it saves me money, keeps me healthy. I am a huge fan of meal prepping. If you're interested in my meal prepping and cooking videos, just check that out in my videos because I do post grocery hauls and meal prepping videos every single week. So just check that out in a separate video if you're interested. If you can't find those videos, let me know down in the comments and I'll link it for you. My next money saving tip is to be mindful of what day you pour petrol because for me, a Tuesday is cheaper for me to pour petrol compared to other days, but you'll need to research what day is cheapest in your local area. There's apps like Fuel Check New South Wales where you can see the cheapest fuel price on an app, or even use a 7-Eleven app where you can lock in the best fuel price in your local area for up to 7 days. Also, I'll often fill my tank up to the max if I know school holidays is around the corner or a festive season like Easter or Christmas, because generally fuel will skyrocket during those seasons. So, if possible, fill up your tank in advance. And my final money saving tip is dedicating 1 week once a month or 1 week every 2 months to do a shelf timber. So, what that means is basically buying minimal ingredients in your grocery shop and using whatever you have on hand at home. That way, I'll get rid of the old stock of food, or it gives me an opportunity to rotate my stockpile as well. Helps me save so much money off my grocery bill and reduces food wastage. For example, this meal here that I'm showing you guys, I'm using canned corn, leftover sad carrots I had in the fridge, jarred curry paste. I'm rotating in my stockpile, some broccoli, onions, and I've created this beautiful, delicious, healthy meal at a minimal cost because I don't think I even bought anything this particular week when I used it. I just grabbed chicken from the freezer and used ingredients I had at home. And I've got a cheeky bonus tip for those who watch till the end, but try to turn your passions into like a little side hustle. For example, I have this YouTube channel which generates a little bit of income where I share my grocery hauls and cooking videos with you guys. Yes, it does take up some time, especially when I have to film when I cook, but it's my hobby, it's my passion, and it gives me a bit of income on the side as well. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.